So, welcome. I'm really delighted that you're joining us today. And today we're going to talk about impact. So, how to make impact with your Amazon listings and e-commerce listings. Because, like today we're facing consumers and the attention span is absolutely pretty low. Compared to a goldfish, which is 9 seconds for a human being, it is around 8. And if we're under pressure, it's even lower. So it's like around 2 seconds. So we're going to talk about like how to get the attention of the consumer to drive the click. And after that, if they're on your listing, that you grab the attention and that they are willing to buy a product. With me today, I have Eyal, and we spent quite some time on a product optimization, and we're going to talk about it today, share some details about it, and then we will get to the impact poll, which is a new poll type from Intellivy, and we will explain today how this all works and how it will help you to optimize CDR and CVR. So, but first, Eyal, welcome. Very nice
Hi.
to have you here.
Hi, Peter-Paul. Great being here.
Yeah. Tell me, tell a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Eyal Keren. I'm the co-founder of Keren Media. We are a family business. Our focus is therapeutic games. My wife, she's a psychotherapist. She's been practicing this for over 20 years. Um, sh we started in the US. Currently, we live in Israel, and but what we do is we sell the products, the games that she develops. That's kind of her specialty, is developing therapeutic games that kind of help work on specific issues, usually in the areas of emotion development or social skills. And we market those products on Amazon, and mostly in the US and Canada.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, so we've been around for almost 5 years now, and and we have about over 10 products already. And we started working with Intellivy on Chit Connect, which is a recently new product that we launched in the beginning of the year. And we'll get to it. I mean, it's a game that kind of helps working with kids, teens, adults on developing conversation skills. And it's kind of like it's the game that kind of helps to break the ice. And yeah, we'll get to show it.
Yeah, and indeed, if you talk about this like conversation games and card games, now people are listening to it like, hey, what is this about?
Yeah.
And that's of that's also the challenge, right? If you are selling this product on Amazon, so can you tell me a little bit more about that? What was the challenge? Because it's not
Yeah.
a general product. It's not.
It's not a general product, but however, on Amazon, there's a lot of products that focus on conversation skills. They're not really games. They're like a collection of cards that usually families buy. It gives like ideas for topics of discussion, and you get to like these are like packs of hundreds of cards, and they're quite popular actually. They've been around for a long time. Our focus was to try to capture the essence of how to develop conversation, but make it in a fun game. So that's really the essence of oral products. And yeah, I think that what Peter-Paul is showing here are some of the other products in the space. Some of them are very specific packs. Some of them are games also. Uh, our game is kind of, it captures everything that helps the player to learn how to break the ice, to make friends, start small talk in a fun game. Our game is somewhat takes elements from popular games like Uno and Go Fish and puts them in a very fun game, very simple game. And but it's all based on the positive thinking of to help really the players to start learning about how to create conversations.
Yeah, exactly. And I just showed a few of those cards,
Yeah.
and so yeah, what we did, we we felt like, okay, we have to start getting a deeper understanding of how to drive clicks. What is that consumers are looking for a type of conversation game that you sell. Um, but then because so many games are also more oriented on fun, so not really the conversation starter for kids who have problems with emotional connection and stuff, you can tell it even better than I can, but
Yep.
that's why we started with a poll type that we have, and that's the purchase barrier poll. This poll type is showing the product, so it's showing the main title with the hero image, and then we ask a group of consumers what are the dumb reasons not to buy this product. So it's DRAP, dumb reasons that avoid buying. And let me show you. This is how it all started, because it's quite a story that we have for you. It's and
Yep.
meanwhile, when I'm searching for my screen and sharing it, it's really, we did so many polls.
Oh, but that specific poll was the first one, and I think I got some really interesting insights from it. It kind of helped us kind of kick off this project and really um I mean specifically I mean I don't know how deep you want to go into it, but I just I really I got like three major things out of this one. I recall like people they just saw this image and text. They didn't even know anything else. They didn't know reviews. They didn't know price, anything else, right? That's the only thing we showed them. And there were some major insights there. Like, for instance, the number one thing that customers pointed out was, is this game is age appropriate for me,
Yeah,
for my child?
yeah,
And that was something that before we didn't really realize that was on the top of the list. I mean, we knew it was there, but we didn't think it was so important.
yeah. And
Um,
what's interesting also to mention is I wanna point this out. So as said, you with a general product. So let's say you have a medical device or you're doing something in a kitchen device, whatever. So
yeah,
a toaster. You have so many toasters, so it's quite easy to say like there's a search term, a toaster, and then you place your toaster up against competitors' toasters, and you just learn like positive and negative feedback in a simulated marketplace, which we offer, and you get an understanding of why is it driving clicks or not. But in
yeah,
this case, we are speaking about such a unique product. It does fit in the Amazon marketplace. We know that, but it's very
yeah,
unique. So we first started with the purchase barrier poll. And what we did, and we both discussed this, let's first target professionals. First, we're going to ask the actual people who want to buy this in the therapy, right?
yeah,
We did that. And the reason was
mhm,
if they going to comment on, like say to us, like, okay, this would not be my reason not to buy this product. This will give us details, kind of like in the next level. If we go to an optimization step, it's kind
yeah,
of that we can say, based on insights from actual professionals, same as your wife, by the way,
yeah,
right? So that's what we did, and we discovered these dumb reasons that avoid buying, and we listed them down. You remember, right? I think I still have this. Of course, I have this document. So let's take it here. So here
yeah.
you have the list of from the purchase variable, and then can you explain what we did here? Just also nice that
Yeah,
you speak
this
it.
was a very I really like the process here because it kind of brought the theory to practice, I would say. Um, well, basically, we took every one of those barriers that customers highlighted in this poll and started to build the hypothesis of what's the issue, what's really behind this. And then once we nailed that, then we figured what would be the right resolution? How do we solve that? So for instance, the first barrier that I mentioned before, the age, realized that okay, let's just make people aware of what's the age. I mean, who is this for? That's really simple. As simple as that. Sometimes the feedback that you get it can be really be resolved in something very insignificant. So we went through like each one of those barriers. We kind of started thinking, okay, like another one was many people said how this game is going to be practical. How is this going to help me or help my child? How is this going to help them develop their conversations? And so we realized that what we need to do is we need to highlight in the messaging, both in the listing, content as well as the image stack, how this game is going to help them. What's the application there? And uh, one of the things was that we realized that we need to a little bit open up. Before, we didn't show too many of the questions of the game in the image stack. As a result of this bears, we realized, okay, let's just show some of the questions. That's what people want to know. How is this going to help me? They want to get like a simulated idea of how this game is going to play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the
Yeah.
process.
And I'm already stepping into one of the free image stack polls because we did quite
Yep,
a few.
we did, yeah.
I'm not gonna show them all because it's really a process of it all starts with just testing the image stack, but we
Yeah.
had to also look at the competitors because there are not real competitors to your product. It's always kind of different.
Well,
Yeah, tell me.
these are competitors are selling, conversation games.
Yeah,
We compete on the same keywords, and they sell products that are similar. But obviously, it's not an easy product to differentiate versus others because there's always like angles to it. But still,
yeah.
um,
But I think what I want to say here is that these two products, of course, we respect competitors, but
yep,
your product is really designed by a therapist. It's aimed for in-depth the knowledge behind how children can connect and how they can learn,
yep,
improve their conversation skills. So it is combining therapy with a game, correct?
right.
And you already mentioned that other game that
Well, let me just mention that it took us a few rounds to get to this point because they were kicking our butt initially,
they
which
were.
is great. By the way, I really appreciate that because they kind of got me kind of understanding. All right, what's wrong? And one of the things that was wrong, and this is going back to the initial issue that I mentioned, the age appropriateness, is that this product, we were trying to make it accessible for everyone, which was a big mistake. This
Yeah,
game, you can see in the design here, it doesn't look like a game that is good fit for somebody who has older children. And it was very interesting reading the image stack poll responses were very fascinating because the people who had kids who were teens were bashing us. This game is too childish. It's not a good fit. The people who had kids who are younger loved it. So that really helped us kind of understand, okay, we need to tailor this down, make it a good fit. So we decided in this specific, the last stack is let's just focus on the group that we think is the right one for us.
yeah,
And we kind of did a little playing around, changing a little bit of the product message, uh, uh, kind of modified a little bit of the images just to make them really a good fit for the age group that we wanted to target.
yeah,
And that's when we started to see the results that you're showcasing now.
yeah,
So,
yeah, indeed. And then so also to explain from Intellivy's perspective, we help Amazon sellers and e-commerce sellers like Eyal to understand the customer journey. So your
yeah,
customer, so your potential customer has a problem and is looking for a solution. And you need to understand if they are on the page looking at all the options, what makes your product stand out and what is important to them. So by understanding that, we know what is needed to get that click. But then if they're in the listing, there are some objections. There are some wants, needs, and desires. It's
yeah,
not that people are saying it, so you need to know that. And that's all coming from consumer insights with our platform.
yeah,
And with that, you can really get the most important product features like master real life conversations. We really thought about that. Like this has to be in there, like big. And the 6+ ages and the 75 cards and the players 2 to 6, that it's all being mentioned, that they see that it's emotional, social, and personal. And now I'm taking quite some time to explain this all. So here again, you see the family setup. Okay, so it's
Yep.
really a fun game. It's also for using at home. It's not just in a therapy, but it's also for in your house. You can use it. I can go on and on. Like each step is addressing a specific need. It's encountering a specific objection, and we listed it down very carefully. And then still, you see here that now we have a winning stack. We had some debate about it or discussion. Like image number 7 is getting 12 votes, while image number 2 is just getting uh, 3. So you
Yeah.
might think like we have to reorder this. However, based in this setup, people like this one, but this one is communicating way more the need and the actual content of the product. Like, what is it that you're offering? So that's why we felt like we have to hold on to this one. Can you also tell me a little bit about differences that you have seen in results so far?
You mean following this?
From yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we following like the last image stack we ran, it's we seen some really interesting results because we started to focus more based, both in the images and the keywords on the right audience. And we've seen an improvement of almost 30% in the conversion rate.
Whoa, nice.
Um, yes,
That's
since
PPC probably, I think. Is that correct or not?
I'm sorry?
Is that namely PPC that it's coming from PPC or overall?
No, overall, both,
Okay,
across the board, both organic and PPC.
great.
And we seen a slight uptick also in the click-through rate as we optimize the main image, so it is improving there as well. The other thing that was very interesting for us, we started this game when we started out this game, we kind of thought, we were very strong on the professional side. And when we started this game, we kind of thought this is going to be a great game for the parents, which is we pretty much market our products to both audiences. However, based on the results of this study, we kind of realized that this is game by far still is more applicable to the professionals, and we've seen like an increase in the share of the B2B for this product by over 10%. So it's the way that, as a result of the study, kind of realized that it's appealing more to professional customers, which is really our strong spot, and we should focus there. And it's just working, working very well there.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
If you just look back at this, so we started with a purchase barrier poll. We listed down the objections based on consumer insights, and that came from actual therapists, so professionals in the field.
right,
We use that to think about our image stack. If you just look back at it, we did in total 3 image stacks.
right.
Do you think we could take it in a shorter run?
Yeah, we could have. I think we could have
Tell me.
done it in one or maybe two, I would say.
What is the difference? So where do you think that we did too much or did it too complicated or somehow, whatever? What did you learn from that?
I think I just it took us some time to kind of really understand what the customers are saying here, and you kind of come to this that you think that you know exactly how our images should look like, and I think as a result of the feedback there, it just our customers were screaming several things that they want in those images, and until we kind of got everything done, that was the point when we started winning. So my suggestion is really, if I had to do this again now, I would probably be very, very focused on implementing some of the feedback and really going through all the insights that you get and really try
Yeah,
to adopt them as much as possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Thank you for that because it is like we want to have as quick as possible. You want to get results and implement it and get somewhere. But indeed,
Right.
if we are providing consumer insights, and now we're looking at an AI summary, and it's beautiful. If you just read it, you like unique to stack A, it almost makes you proud, right? Like
Right.
this is what we achieve now by just testing. But still, do dive into, because that's what you're saying. Dive into the individual responses and read it, and understand where they're getting from, right?
Yeah, you have to read the individuals. You can't just rely on the nice AI summary that you have.
Yeah. Yeah, which is a good guideline, but it's a good
It
starter.
is.
But you have to check it. And then by doing that, it's kind of like having the conversation with actual consumers who are
Absolutely.
responding to your product. And that gives you a sense of clarity. And yeah, well, it helps you to improve your listings and images.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
like
that
running a
brings me,
focus group.
yeah, that brings me to the what I all started with impact and the attention span. I started with that. And so although we have these images now and everything is crafted, we have a new poll type, and we also use this new poll type on your products. We haven't seen the results now. You haven't, and I haven't. This is first time that we are looking into it. So we
Mhm.
did a hero image test on the stop to scroll, and let me first explain what it does. So the image impact poll is placing 70 respondents in the situation. Imagine your child struggled to start conversations and connect with others. You want something that will help them practice social skills in a fun, approachable way. So you're planning to buy a conversation starter game for kids. This is the start of the shopping scenario. It's the simulation. Here it all starts. And to get a little bit deeper in that, we also ask the respondents, hey, if you're in this situation, what should you think is most important to give attention to? So it's kind of like setting the mind of the respondent to in the situation as if they're going to buy a conversation starter card game. I'm going to skip this part for now. It gives very much insights. It's absolutely beautiful and valuable. But what it's all about is that then we show this image to 50% of the group. So that's 35. 35 will see this image, the main image, for just zero point 0.5 seconds. The other 35 will see the same image, main image, for 2 seconds. And by just seeing it, we want to learn if it's communicating what we intended it has to communicate. Because we briefed the designer based on all the insights. We said this image has to communicate. Well, you can fill in the blank here. But here we see that respondents viewing the image for zero point 0.5 seconds identified it as colorful. Child-oriented card game, with many noting it's fun and educational appearance despite the brief exposure. Specific details such as the presence of primary colors, depiction of children, phrases related to connect or communication were mentioned, though clarity was limited due to the short viewing time, which makes sense. But again, this is all about people scrolling over pages, and then you can debate like, hey, this is absolutely nonsense. Why would you do this? Well, this is happening all the time. So we are simulating a moment in a journey of a consumer where you just want to know, does it bring the message across or not if I'm scrolling? So that's the whole point. What do you think of it, by the way, if you look at it?
Yeah, it's a very interesting type of feedback to know if really your main image is on target. If you,
Yeah,
it's the whole purpose of the main image is kind of to break the scroll of the user on the page.
yeah.
So is this doing its job? And are you what kind of messages are you communicating in the image? So
Yeah, and I'm wondering if so here you can validate it's diving into all the individual responses here. Here they are. And then this is also done by AI. So I'm kind of ChatGPT, and I'm just asking, hey, because here on top of the box we have H612. We both know that, and we
yeah,
we added that based on the insights. We said we have to add it to the image to make sure that it's communicating well. Now let's see if H612 is communicating if people see it. So now we are validating. It's checking the data, it's checking the responses, and just now we will know if it's coming across or not. So here, oh, that's interesting. So, oh, sorry. And I think we spoke about this many times. Like, is it big enough? If it's just on the box on the top right corner, it's very nice, but maybe it has to be bigger.
Hmm.
And age 6 and 12 is not coming across. Now I have to say that age 6 and 12 can also be covered in the title. So you can use it over there. But
Interesting.
but I think we have to do something about this one. And then it's very simple to test this again. And you can, of course, test it up against competitors, but that's not what it's about. Right now, you just want to know I'm briefing someone, I'm briefing my designer. Hey, listen, make sure that they understand that it's for age 6-12. And
Yeah,
if we go back to the original start, we already knew that age, and I hope I can find it here and here age appropriateness. Here it is, and skill level. That was one of our top
it was.
concerns.
Yeah,
So this is absolutely something to think about and to optimize further. And I think we have to go for uh, uh, making this bigger. And then the same applies for this sentence in here. Like, what is it saying? The engaging conversation game. By the way, that's good. So here in the 2 seconds, I just want to show you here. Let's see. Uh, yeah, so that it's the purpose of facilitating discussions among players, engaging educational tool for children. So that's very good. In 2 seconds, that's happening. They do see that it's a conversation game for children.
yeah,
So let's go to the next impact poll. This is good, right? You can do something with it.
yeah. That's great feedback. By the way, it's
Yeah. So then second image test. We tested the second image. So from the image tag, we just felt like, okay, the second image is of course the most important one. You want to grab the attention, take your consumer to the next image, to the next, or let them scan bullet points or let them go to the A plus content. So overall, you want to have an experience and a moment of connection with your customer. So they will buy your product. Now, second image is part of that, of course. It's part of that journey. So the second image test works like this. It's secure the sale. That's how we call that. Impact poll, secure the sale. Again, it starts with the situation. We are framing the respondents in the situation as if they are going to buy a conversation starter card game for kids. 70 respondents. So a group of 35, 0.5 seconds, 2 seconds. But now something else is going to happen. So from situation, they will see the main image. They see the main image as if they are clicking on it. So that's the moment like, okay, now you clicked on this main image. So this is giving them more context. It's really helping them to understand where it's all going to. It's going from situation to a click and then to the second image. And here it is. Master real life conversations. We spoke about that age, cards, players. There we go. 0.5 seconds. It's perceived it is promoting a child-friendly game, focusing on communication skills. Key elements identified include a happy child or boy giving a thumbs up, surrounded by cards. It suggests the game involves conversation starters or communication enhancement. The presence of cards and the child's positive gesture were recurrently mentioned, indicating the game's appeal to children and its educational or social value. So overall, just I think we did a good job again. In 0.5 seconds, it's bringing across what we wanted. That's exactly what's
yeah.
happening here. And
I
then
couldn't
when it's
ask for anything
longer,
else.
yeah, and then when it's longer, so when we are getting into the 2 seconds, you see 6 plus is getting across. So that's great, 6 plus. And they also see, 70 plus. So they do not see 75, but it's 70 plus. That's good. Okay.
Yeah,
The 2 6 players, I don't see that here. It's not coming up. Um, Again, the thumbs up reinforcing the game's enjoyment and approval. So that's good. Now, if you just look at this image, EO, and based on all the insights that we gathered and what we want to achieve with this image, what do you think you want to validate on this one?
um, I would want to validate that this game really helps sparks conversations. So either icebreaker or help conversation skills really, because that's the main thing. This is where the message in this image is to really tell the customer that this game is for real. It's going to help you. So
Like this?
yeah, I guess.
Then I have to say, of course, does the
Oh,
game.
does this game. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways.
There we go. Does this game help to start conversations? Yeah, and then I have to think about what key message should consumers remember. I have to say the game helps start conversation, but let's see what's happening. You can revalidate over and over. Oh, that's good. Look at it.
Yeah.
So here you see a duration 2 seconds, recall count 23. So based on 35 of 23, that's how you have to see it. That's pretty high. That's
That's
really
it.
pretty high.
That's yeah. I couldn't ask for it to deliver the message
No,
in
but here you see that
seconds.
between the two
Yeah.
exposure durations, only 7 out of 35. That's of course obvious. We see that down here. Then here, the longer exposure time improves the likelihood of the intended message. Let's see. However, since recall rate for 2 seconds exposure below 75, the image does not fully succeed. Well, I think it's doing a good job since control of.
Yeah.
I think we're doing a good job here with the recall count of 23.
Yeah.
Is there
Definitely.
anything else? If is there anything else that you find important on this image?
Um, the we do have the this is kind of the way the game is the elements of the game of having emotional, social, and personal questions. So uh the coming up really the I don't know how to I don't know how to phrase it, but the essence of the game or the the structure of the questions of being focused on emotional, social, and personal.
Yeah, game offers emotional, social, and personal questions. Let's see what's happening here. I'm just doing something now. I think this is relevant because it's going from emotional, social, and personal. And do people see that? Again, eh, we have to stick to the overall insights that we gathered because we
Yep.
knew that we came from the purchase poll. We learned from the dominant objections. We learned like, okay, this is really a reason that people would not buy it or would doubt to buy it. We covered
Mhm.
those. So we optimized the image stack. Then we gathered also wants, needs, and desires in the image stack. Added that again to the new images. From there on, we optimized each step. And I think we did a good job there. Oh, here. Okay.
Well, here I guess maybe we should phrase this again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me.
Because one of the things that really when this is probably more applicable to the people seeing this for 2 seconds, uh, but because they do see uh, the question. I mean, there's examples of some of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you check if that it's coming across that the questions are fun and easy, fun and simple questions that help spark conversations or,
Questions are fun
fun and simple.
and simple.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is
No,
absolutely. I think. What do you think of this poll type?
I love this poll because yeah, I'm gonna do some digging here. There's a
Hmm.
lot we can learn. Definitely for sure. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, you see now, fun and simple. It's not
Yeah.
working. So maybe.
Not coming across, but yeah,
No, but let's see if I
to,
just do fun.
I don't know, fun maybe, but
I just want to see. Sorry, my keyboard is not responding. I just want to see if it makes a change. I just want to know. Also, I have to learn, right? Because it's scanning the poll insights, and I know from other poll types that sometimes it's really counting. So it's quantitative data, and then
yeah.
it's missing the essence. This is always a struggle, you know. Everybody's doing crazy stuff with AI, and it's the future and everything. But you have to be careful with it. Let's see what's happening now. No, again, so fun and simple. Let's try
Try
just
maybe,
fun.
why don't you try positive thinking? because that's kind of like something that we always try to
Well,
highlight.
let's do just the word positive. Let's see,
Okay.
just see what's happening here.
All right.
I want to know. It did work with the first question that we raised. That was very good. Yeah, so you see. So now we have overall 35, and this. So now, uh, so oh, did you see that? I did fun, and then the system
Yeah,
is changing it
this
into
is the
response.
thumbs up.
Yeah,
This is the result of the thumbs up.
yeah, yeah. Probably it is. But here you see exactly what you said before. You have to dive into each individual poll inside to get a deeper understanding of what people are saying.
Yeah.
So although this is absolutely very helpful, it's guiding you to say like, hey, did it bring the intended message? And I also have to say this. It's your process. So the optimization process starts with insights. You always have to start with insights. You can start with gut feeling, but I don't recommend doing that. Then start by testing your gut feeling. So begin with knowing what people are saying. Begin with data in a good setup. So it has to be a shopping scenario. It has to be relevant to your product. Then from those insights, you can start your briefing, and the briefing brings you to the design of an image. And if you have a specific image, so we did the same thing here. We made a briefing for each image.
Yeah.
And then in the next step, if you're testing again, it's not just about winning. It's not just about winning with the highest percentage, but it's more about, is the message coming across? And this is a
Right.
deeper layer of that question to you as a seller. Am I really communicating what I want to communicate in this specific image? And that's what this whole test is about. So that's what you can do with it. And
Absolutely.
overall, if you're looking at this for the first time, so Eyal did this process, and thank you, Eyal, for joining us today. It was absolutely great that you shared your thoughts.
My
Uh,
pleasure.
but if you look at here, so if you enter our platform, you can choose from the phases that you're in. So if you're starting with new product development, or you're doing launch preparation or growth hacking, I'm opening growth hacking here. Then here you see the steps that we discussed. So you can choose for counter drop. That's the purchase barrier poll that we spoke about. You can test your CDR, then you test your main image and hero image and title up against relevant competitors. You can optimize CVR. That brings you to the poll type of the image tag. That all the things that we addressed in this moment today is in here. And if you want to go for the impact poll, that's up here. So go to poll types. You can also go to the left and then create poll. And then you can choose for the image impact poll. And you can decide to test stop the scroll. That's for main image. So secure the sale. That's for the one of your listing images. Yeah, Eyal, maybe you can give a recommendation to other sellers if you want. And if you
Sure.
can,
Like how to approach this or what?
yeah, so well, maybe in general, like feedback on Intellivy and what you want to share
Oh,
to others. Maybe a
I,
tip.
I think my experience was really is great. I mean, because we went through this methodical process. Um, I mean, it depends really on the product, depends on where you are in the life cycle of the product, what you're trying to achieve. This specific product was, since it was a new product, we needed as much insights we can get. So going through the step by step, going through the purchase barriers, then going through the image stack polls, getting it right. And then now the new polls that you're showing definitely bring a lot of insights. It's a work in progress. So it doesn't end here. I mean, we're going to need to go back and run some new assumptions just to make sure that we're nailing it, getting to the right place. But overall, I like this. The quality of the feedback that we got was really amazing. And our product is very niche product. And still, Intellivy was able to find us very relevant customers, potential customers that were responding to polls. And the insight that we gained just by reading the qualitative feedback was amazing.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's kind of like our overall experience.
no, thank you very much. So yeah, again, if you're watching this, you want to know more about Intellivy, you can go to intellivy.net. You can also go to the comments below and read everything of the details. And you see here on the top Intellivy Labs. You can join that. The waiting list is not anymore. It's closed now. We launched it officially in New York this year. So Intellivy Labs has also started. It's a community which you can join. You can meet other sellers like Eyal. You can listen to them. You can dive into case studies. There's training in there, everything to help you gain the best and the most out of consumer insights and optimize your Amazon listings and e-commerce listings. So thank you very much. Till the next video. And yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eyal. Thank you.